Okay, so today we are focusing on the Ruby System and BloodHound in real time with automated system development with Phil Antonson. So my name's Ty. I'm one of the guys here at Shark Indicators. For those of you unfamiliar with our company, we're a top Ninja Trader partner. We've been making waves in the industry for over 5 years now. Our trademark product, BloodHound, is basically a trading engine for you to build, backtest, and execute any system you can think of. There's no coding involved, and it's already used by thousands of satisfied traders. So just a few words from a few of our customers. Derek says, I think I would have quit trading if not for BloodHound. Probably the best investment I ever made for my trading business. We're glad you think so, Derek. Will says, BloodHound significantly reduces the time to find out which systems work and those that do not work. I can test new strategies without the cost of custom coding, which by itself more than pays for the cost of Shark Indicator licensing fees. And if you want to view more of those reviews, you can go to sharkindicators.com/testimonials. So what we do is we select top Ninja Trader partners to bring you a lot of variety and exposure to different trading methods and personalities. Each partner is successful in their own right, and each offers a unique trading style for you guys. Many of our industry partners create their own strategies using our tools, which in turn allows you to trade them, enhance them, tweak them, making them your own systems when it's all said and done. So just a bit about today's partner. Phil is a full-time technical trader, as well as the founder and manager of both Promereo Capital and Lucrum Trading Systems. He specializes in quantitative analysis and algorithmic trading, which I believe makes him an ideal presenter for this Shark audience. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass the screen and mic over to Phil.
All right, thank you, Ty, and thank you everybody for joining me here today. If you guys can just let me know if you guys can hear me well. If I need to adjust my volume, that's just fine. All right, so today what we are going to cover is the Lucrum Ruby Trading System. Right now it's available for NinjaTrader 8 as a new edition. Just had that set up last week. So if you guys are trading on NinjaTrader 8, this system will also work for you there. So today we will cover a snapshot of Lucrum Ruby system with the features and functions that are included with the system. I will do a live demonstration of Ruby using market replay data. I'll look at usable outputs of Ruby using Shark Indicators BloodHound, and then we'll look at building a basic strategy using BloodHound and Ruby. I'll also cover some of the additional services of Lucrum Trading Systems, and today one lucky attendee will win a free license of the Ruby system. Near the end of the webinar, I'll be doing a random number drawing, and that number will correlate with your name on the attendance list. So, a basic introduction of Lucrum Trading Systems is Lucrum is a provider of both discretionary and automatic trading tools for NinjaTrader 7 and 8 now, as well as a trading education and system development consulting company. We are objectively oriented to providing our customers with the resources and tools necessary to empower profitable trading. A little bit about me, like Ty covered, I'm a trader of over 10 years. I was a hedge fund analyst and trader specializing in the metals and energy sectors. I went to the University of Wisconsin for finance and economics. I am the founder and manager of Promereo Capital Asset Management, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So some of my objectives with Lucrum Trading Systems is to provide a quality value-added services to traders who are serious about trading, to create a foundation for others to use to become successful traders themselves, and to empower traders to expand their objectives who seek more than an easy buck. So without further ado, let's go into an overview of Ruby. So right now I have Ruby loaded up on the chart. This is a basic 5-minute gold chart. And as you can see, that it's a very visually oriented system that allows you to capitalize on some trades you might not have normally seen without the proper indicators on your chart. So this is basically what you see when you load it up on a chart. You have these trade trigger signals as indicated like here and here, as well as a little bit more features such as a modified moving average. This is the teal and red. You have pivot points, which will demonstrate the correlation between the deviation ranges within that that particular time period, and then they will also sometimes point into pattern formations, which is a formula that looks at where the high and low points were from the previous pivot, and it tries to make assumptions based on how those patterns are formed, and to give you a sense of some patterns that might be forming on your chart. There's also a Fibonacci projection that is painted from the pivot points, as well as some other little tools that I can show you here. Everything here is extremely customizable that will fit pretty much any market that I've ever thrown against it, as well as every time frame. And I would like to go over a demonstration of this system in moderate real time. When I say moderate real time is obviously because this is a limited time presentation. I can't go and sit here and wait for every tick for something to happen. So what I'm going to use today is Market Replay. And Market Replay is a really handy tool. It basically allows you to batch download replay data. It's very useful for not only practicing your trading, but to look at your system and to make sure that your system is corresponding how it should when you paint it on a chart versus how it acts in real time. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and crank this up a bit. We'll go at 300 times. And everything in Ruby, the trade trigger signals, they basically paint, nothing repaints. So everything that you see happens as it would as if you just loaded it onto a chart. The only thing that does change is this pivot point. This pivot point here will continually update as the chart progresses. So I'll just let this run for a little bit, just so you guys can see how the system begins painting on your chart. Right now we have a down signal that was just formed, and the transition from the green to the more violet will take place. The gray bars that you see are the transitionary bars. These are the bars that the system looks at and says, okay, there could be some exhaustion in this current direction. There could likely be a transition into reversal of where the price might be going. And with these transitions between the deviation of high and low ranges, when these pivot points begin to form and update, the corresponding Fibonacci projections will also update. And the Fibonacci tools are very interesting and very handy, as they have a good way of identifying some possible support and resistance points. Some people love using Fibonacci, and it is easily adjusted, and you can turn it on and off with these true-false parameters. And with the ability to customize how the system reacts, we'll take a look at the trade trigger sensitivity and the trend sensitivity. Right now they're both set to 30, and we'll just lower this to 10. And you can see that with this, there's going to be a lot more of these transitionary bars, a lot more gray bars, and the actual reversal of the trend is going to be a lot more rapid. So with this, if you're more of a short-term day trader, this will probably be more effective to run this on a lower setting. If you're a longer holding with a longer time period, you might want to turn that up some more. So let's just try this out at 50. And you're going to again see that the smoothness, I guess, of the color transitions is a little bit less sporadic than with something that has a lower trend sensitivity. And like the trend sensitivity, the trade trigger sensitivity will basically dictate how sensitive the system is going to react to transitions in price. So again, let's try this at a lower one, at 10, and there's going to be a lot more of these signals that are forming, a little bit more of the secondary signals, and the secondary signals are going to form most commonly after the main signal has formed, which are indicated by these solid colors. The yellow ones in the corresponding directions will basically say to you that the run is already in progress. The direction that the original signal has already made could basically exhaust it. It could have outran itself, or it could be a continuation of that larger trend. And again, with a higher trade trigger sensitivity, you're going to see a lot fewer of them, and they're going to be more apparent when there's something more defined, a little bit more dramatic than having it with a lower one. And also with the pivot points, you can adjust them with the counter threshold. So this is going to adjust how sensitive these pivot points are going to be on the deviation between the highs and lows as the price and the chart progresses. And again, with something really low like a 2, it's going to be, a lot more sporadic, and a lot more of these formations are going to be created on the chart. However, having something like this that is that sensitive on a 5-minute chart especially, the likelihood that there are any actionable patterns formed from these pivot points is a little bit less likely. All right, so there's just, hope you guys could see that all right as the chart progressed. Again, none of the signals will repaint, and it will basically, as soon as you load it onto a chart, what you're going to see is going to be exactly what you get. So what's also included with Ruby is the Vision Renko bar type. So I'm just going to load up a quick continuous contract of crude. Let's put it on a 4-tick Vision Renko bar. Load up 30 days. Oh, I'm connected to replay, so sorry about that. 1 second. So this is the Vision Renko bar type, and this bar type is, I don't want to boast myself too much in this bar type, but it is the best Renko bar type that I've ever come across, simply because a lot of the Renko bar types that exist out there, they're not realistic in terms of how you can actually trade on these Renko bars. So with the Vision Renko, there is going to be an offset of 1 tick for each continuation of the bar, and there's going to be a double bar for each sort of sideways reversal of that. And this is particularly handy because it is backtest capable. Just load Ruby up on it quick. It is backtest capable, and it will basically allow you to use a Renko type automated system and be able to test it respectively and have the results based on those backtests be more realistic than what you might expect from, like a standard Renko bar that could be included with NinjaTrader. So now we're going to go into BloodHound and take a look at some of the outputs available with Ruby and Shark Indicators BloodHound. Let's just load up ES chart. 30 days. There, good enough. We'll load up Ruby and then BloodHound. I'm going to clean up Ruby just a little bit because there's too much going on. So let's take away the range pivots and the high-low extensions. Oops, and Fibonacci. If the high-lows or the range pivots are not enabled, the Fibonacci won't know what to paint to, so you can see some artifacts of where that was. So let's turn that off. Okay, so right now we have basic 5-tick Vision Renko bar type on the E-mini. And what we're going to do today is, first of all, we're going to look at the outputs of the Ruby system and what is read by BloodHound, and then we're going to just make a very simple system to try and get the most out of these signals that we see. As you can see with this particular segment with the settings that I have Ruby now, there's a number of mixed signals. You have like this one right here, which is, obviously had you taken it, it didn't go anywhere and continued to back up a little bit. Same right here. There's just a little bit of run and then back here. So this is mostly due to the settings within Ruby itself, but I'm just going to show you how we can take BloodHound and use some filtering to basically eliminate some of those false signals in a very, very simple way. All right. All right, we're going to go through each of the different outputs that I have. This template is included with any purchase of Ruby. So it gives you a little bit of a head start in terms of creating your system with Ruby. So first things first, very basic, is bar direction up or down. This is going to be looking at the colors of the bars themselves. So you've got the violet and the green, with the gray ones being omitted. So these are basically going to look at which direction the bars are going, not based on the price increase or decrease, but simply on the colors of the Ruby system. Then we have the modified moving average. This is the faster moving average that you can see with a thin line. This is a logarithmic based moving average, which I find them to be a lot more responsive than a traditional simple moving average or an exponential moving average. So I think this logarithmic based modified moving average is very effective at reacting quickly to changes in price. So it makes very, very applicable for faster day trading styles. Next we have the entry trade signals. These are going to be the solid colored ones, and these are most typically used for the entry positions for your trades. Then we have the extended trade signals, which are the yellow signals, and again these are the continuation or the possible exhaustion after continuation of where the initial trade trigger signal came from. And then we also have the modified moving average slope, which is a very simple slope solver. And then the exponential moving average slope. Then here is a simple ATR. This is simple up or down, whether or not the price is above or below the ATR. And then the pivot reversals. This is sort of hard to see because this updates in as the chart progresses, but these are when a new pivot is formed or a new extension of a pivot is formed as the chart continues. And then this one you won't be able to see because, again, this is it looks for the pivots and a continuation for the chart development, but this is a comparison between price and the Fibonacci extensions. Then we got bar direction neutral. These are going to be the gray bars. and these are simply the bar directions, up or down. I mean, this is a generic one. This is not Ruby specific, but this is just basically looking at, is the price in this bar going up or down? So with that, we're going to take some of these solvers and make a little logic matrix and filter out, let's see, so I'll go the step by step so you guys can see it. So right now we have the entry trade signals. Every single signal that appears, the system is going to look at. Again, like I mentioned earlier, is a lot of these are going to be false. This first one here, this third one here didn't really do anything, and then these shorts a little bit later in this chart, they wouldn't have done anything. And if you had taken the system and said, okay, go long every up signal, go short every down signal for this particular segment and this particular parameters that the system is running right now, it wouldn't have done anything. So we're going to go through and see what we can do to filter out some of these bad signals and try and get ultimately the best ones for this particular example. So the first thing is we are going to want to look at this colored moving average. And I think it's safe to say with a slower moving average like this in a Renko-based chart is you want to have a little bit of momentum behind your trades. So if the slower momentum of this this moving average is predominantly short, you might want to avoid taking long trades. So we're just going to do a simple entry trade signal, and then we're going to remove all trades that would correspond with having the moving average against where the trade trigger signal came from.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Real quick, just a few of the viewers are hoping you can increase the size of that Ruby template window just a bit. They're finding it just a little hard to see.
Oh, yes, my apologies on that.
No problem.
I'm not sure really how I can do that. I apologize. I'm running on a 4K monitor, so everything is pretty small when it comes to Windows.
Okay, well, yeah, if you can't make it any bigger, then we can just go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I apologize about that. If anybody has any questions, I can definitely send a screenshot of it, and I can blow it up a little bit so you can see it better. All right, so with this, we were able to clean up a lot of them. There's still a couple of them like this one right here. So let's try and let's look at adding the continuation bars, the extended signals. So if we can add that to the chart, we can see that there are going to be the extended signals again filtered out with the EMA slope, and these are great for either you can set them up as take profits if it's a continuation bar where the run might be exhausted, and it could also be used to possibly add to your trade. And another thing that is great to use is the time session solver, and BloodHound makes this super easy because you can just simply go and put a time session solver, and then you can pick which one, and then you can edit it easily on the fly. So this one here, oops, that's not where I want to go. There. So then we have a time session. So this eliminates a lot of the time when automated systems need to look at time, because if you're looking at trading off hours, there's going to be a lot of stagnation, and if there's a momentum-based system, there could be a lot of sideways chop, and with that, you're not going to really benefit much from that. So with the time session solver, it basically allows you to filter out and eliminate most of the sideways chop that you might incur. All right, so that is basically the simple system. I didn't load up too much data here, but you can see that the signals themselves, they're filtered a little bit. Most of these have been, would have been great trades. So you got this one straggler right here that wasn't able to be filtered, but again, this is basically using Ruby with its default parameters. I just loaded up this chart for just a few days ago as an example of what you might be able to use with it. And with the flexibility of using the different outputs that Ruby has, along with the power of BloodHound, you can tailor yourself into a very sweet system that fits your trading style, whether or not you want to use it to aid your own manual discretionary trading, or if you want to go fully automated. All right, and that the live demonstration was provided with Market Replay. Again, it's a great way for you to basically batch download some data so you can replay it in real time or sped up for both practice and to analyze how your system is reacting and to make sure that it corresponds correctly with how it might be in live trading. So we're going to go over just a few other things that Lucrum Trading Systems offers, not only discretionary trading systems such as Ruby. Also offer trade indicators and bar types, such as the Vision Renko bar type. We do automated trading system consulting, so we can look at your automated systems and whether or not you have the ideas for it and you don't know what to do to put it together, or if you have one that is together and you're looking how to improve it, optimize it without trying to curve fit it. That's something we can definitely look at. Also do system training and general trading education, as well as system theory and application. The system theory and application is going to look at your trading system and to see what type of logics are behind it, what sort of implied truths are behind it, and then how to apply different filters and tools to get the most out of your idea. So with the trading system consulting, it is to consider the aspects of repeatability and consistency. A lot of people that they will build a system on data it's not blind data. So when you build a system, you can just curve fit the hell out of it and it might look amazing, but you need to consider the aspects of repeatability and consistency, which is to measure the robustness and curve fit inefficiencies that might exist. So usually this is to test systems in multiple markets, blind data, stress test some of the different parameters that are used. If parameter settings of 10 works great, but a parameter setting of 9 is completely different results, that is red flag for some curve fit inefficiencies. And then it is also to determine the accuracy of live performance against back tests. This is extremely important because when you have an automated system, sometimes the back tests are completely different against live performance. This is very common with any Renko typed bars. So with that is to use something like the replay data, just to ensure that when this automated system is running, the data that comes through is enacted on appropriately. Also do some trade training and education. It's a personalized trading training based on your own objectives and skill levels. It's to improve your trade opportunity identifying, whether or not you are, a swing trader, pure short-term technical trader. Just some different ways to get the most out of your trade opportunity identifying. And then to learn the proper ways to set stop losses and take profits, again, according to what your trading style is and what your objectives are in your trading. And then also general trade theory and application. So what is included with Ruby? The Ruby system is for both NinjaTrader 7 and NinjaTrader 8, so you will get a license for both NT7 and NT8. There's no need to purchase both. And if you are an existing Ruby user with NT7, I'll be sending everybody an email announcing the release of the NT8 version this week. You also get the Vision Renko bar type. It's sold separately for $195. So if you're just like, I don't want Ruby, but I want the bar type, that is certainly possible. Also includes a comprehensive use and trading manual, which will basically go over in much more detail than I did today about all of the different components of Ruby and how they're used and how to make it into a cohesive system. It also includes free updates and free support. And again, that's $395 for lifetime license. And then a special offer for the webinar attendees today. You will also receive a 1-hour Ruby setup and consulting. So with that, with Ruby purchase, you can schedule a time with me and we can look at some of the objectives you're looking for in your trading. We can set up, look at some of the parameter settings for your market and time frame. And then there's also some pretty awesome bundle offers, and this is for Ruby and BloodHound Ultimate. You can get both of them for $945. So if you're in the market for BloodHound, this is certainly an option. Just for an extra $150, you can have Ruby. And then for Ruby and Blackbird, it is $195. So not much additional to have Ruby with it if you are looking to have some very powerful tools in your trading arsenal. And then let's look at the winner of the free Ruby system. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to pull up a random number generator and I'm going to look at the attendance list if I can find it. Alright, so we got 94 people in attendance right now. Just so you guys can see it, I'm not cheating anybody, so I'm just using a Google random number generator. So alright, number 52, and let's find 52. Bear with me a moment because I need to count through it. All right, looks like Mark Stanworth. It looks like I've got your email here, so I will grab that. Congratulations to you. I'll be sending you an email here after this presentation with a request for your NinjaTrader machine ID, and then I will go ahead and send you the files for that. So again, congratulations to you. So right now we're just going to open up to questions. If anybody has any questions for me, feel free to ask in either the chat or the questions box, and I will go ahead and answer them before we wrap up here today. Okay. Randy asks, can we use the SI Renko bar type instead of the Vision Renko bar type? Absolutely. And again, the SI Renko bar type is a phenomenal bar, and it is also backtest safe, so that one is also great to use. Chris asked, do you provide any BloodHound templates for automation? Provide the solver list. Basically has a list of some of the outputs accessible with BloodHound, so it gives you a head start in terms of really being able to plug and play some of the different components. Sean asks, can the Fibonacci levels be used with BloodHound or Raven? Yeah, absolutely. The output of the Fibonacci extensions will be accessible with BloodHound. But again, because they paint off the pivot points that are generated more so in real time, it's a little bit more difficult to backtest. Ronald asks, for those who are unable to set up the Ruby on our Ninja platform, do you do screen sharing to set it up? Yeah, absolutely. If you have any issues with the installation or any support, I'm here to help. And again, with the webinar attendees, you will get the 1 hour of free consulting. And before I forget, let me throw a link in the chat of the special offers with Ruby and BloodHound. What is an intraday best chart type for CL? It's tough to say. My personal trading style is using a 15-minute or a 4 to 5 tick vision Renko. However, I have a lot more tolerance for longer holding periods. So if you're somebody who wants to have quick and shorter trades, you can use anything from range bars to minute bars to basically anything. So it's really tough for me to define which one is best, but there's plenty of good ones for what you're looking to do. Do you have to adjust Ruby to changing market conditions? Do you have a general approach to starting each day to make sure you're in tune with the market trend and volatility? Not necessarily. The settings that I use, I don't really touch. They just for the markets that I trade and the bar types, they really don't change. You certainly could. You could look at the VIX or something like that to give you guidelines, and then you could maybe turn back or turn up some of the trend sensitivity to avoid some of the chop. Certainly possible, but in terms of having to adjust it on a day-to-day basis, that shouldn't be necessary. Yellow arrows are they're basically extensions, extended trade signals. They will generally come after the main signal, and it basically says that there could be a continuation or possible exhaustion of that particular trend. Is the 4K monitor worth to experience? Definitely. Definitely. But I must say that you got to have pretty good eyes for it, though, because everything is very, very small, but definitely worth it. And then this last question here, how often would you suggest free backtesting to see if the system is still working to ensure that you're trading a suitable market? You can do like a walk forward analysis. Is basically where the system is already traded. It'll look at the previous period of your definition, and it will do a walk forward curve fit to the previous data. And this is a way to see how much your system fluctuates on a periodical basis. And then it really depends on what system you're working with as well. All right, I think that's it for now. Just coming up on the end of the hour, so Again, I would like to thank everybody for joining me here today. If there's any questions that I missed, I'd be more than happy to talk to you directly. My email is phil@lucrumtradingsystems.com. So yeah, again, thank you all very much, and thank you Shark Indicators and Ty for hosting me today, and much appreciated. Thanks everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil, for coming and presenting to the Shark audience. And thank you guys for coming to another one of our webinars. I'm just going to leave this screen up for you. If you do want to take a look at the special offer, lucrumtradingsystems.com/bloodhoundwebinar.php. And again, I will be sending the recording out to all of the registrants, so look for that tomorrow as well. All right, guys, stay trading. Take it easy.